Hello and welcome to the Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal.
Hi, I'm Jason DeRoss.
Welcome. It is Friday. How is everyone?
I'm doing awesome.
Well, yeah, are you doing awesome? That's great. That's amazing. And so, here we are. We're just like living our best life here. Welcome everyone in the chat. I'm seeing things about snow days.
I know.
Certainly not prepared.
Yeah, because I've also seen like a few of my friends that are in certain parts of Canada, and they posted pictures yesterday, and it's like there's feet of snow in some places already. Where I'm like, oh my god.
Also, I just wanted to send some positive vibes to Emma, who just came on the chat and said, this is a distraction. My son is having an MRI done on his back and neck, and I have to wait outside because of COVID. His dad is in with him. So we are sending all of our love and support to Emma during, a really stressful time.
And let's distract you. We'll talk about it for the next 15 minutes. How about that?
We'll just talk about it for the next 15. I think that's what I would want, if I was in the hospital waiting.
But positive vibes. It's so difficult right now because of like when those things sort of happen, and you got to be like, well, I'll just wait outside, and you go in there.
Totally.
Okay, great.
100%. Also, Laura says, welcome. I'm new to the chat. Happy to be part of the fam. Welcome.
What's up?
We got some.
Are you one of Shayla's 0.45 friends? That's great.
I thought you were asking me. I was like, I think so.
No, Laura.
Thank you. So glad to have some new pals in the chat skis. That's always like a nice little time. It's just like a nice little time to have. I am fully in a rut. I need to spice up my life. That's where I'm at today. So it's always nice to meet a new friend.
Things are shutting down again, and like things are getting weird again in Canada. So like, let's talk about it a bit, because you said you want some new spices. What spice can you throw in your life when all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, we're in soft days. Shit's going down. Shit sucks. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one of those things where it's like you either, first of all, I want to talk about what's going on with you. Like, is it just dark in Los Angeles?
It did seem like all of a sudden I don't know what the fuck's happening.
It looks like you have black hair.
I dyed my hair. I'm really hitting like the midlife crisis now. I'm like full on.
I know, because I feel like your shirt should be white, but it looks like off.
I honestly don't know what's happening. It's like how like sometimes it auto adjusts. I think it's auto adjusted to like I said snow day, and they went, oh, okay, or soft day. Because look at this.
The mic is
I know.
I don't really know what to do or say for you. There you go. That's perfect. That's what we want. No, I think what it is for me is just like overdoing either end of the spectrum. So I'm either overworking, and the thing is, I ain't got no boss. I ain't got no job. I don't have.
You have a boss.
It's me.
It's you.
It's me. I'm a boss. But I'm really mean to myself. And the demands I put on myself are truly, if I was an external boss, like a different person, and I told you the deadlines and expectations I was putting on myself as an employee, you'd be like, that boss sucks.
Well, it's like, remember those old commercials where it was like, you want to be your own boss? You want to be able to paint your own hours? Drive a truck. And it's like, what? But also be your own boss.
So true.
But be your own boss. I was like, I always pictured it like having drinks at the bar afterwards and just being like, oh, well, I got to drink with my boss. Guess we can't talk about much. Anyways, I guess I better get home and go to bed. I'm a proper worker here.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I have never sought out, like in an actual job, like I've never sought out hanging out with my boss. Like,
but that's the whole thing. You can't escape it when it's in your body. Your boss is in your body with you, and you're like, oh, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I guess you could do some really experimental drugs and then be like, cool, you're over there and I'm right here. We're good.
Well, the thing that I do, which is not smart, is I play this little game with myself where I overwork myself, right? I do too much. And then
the Milton Bradley game of too much work. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I didn't even take my coat down. I was like, leave it. But what I do is I overwork myself, and then I rebel against myself, where I go, that's it. I'm gonna party tonight.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. You're in a place, fuck this job.
Yeah. And then I say, fuck this job.
I mean,
And
what am I doing? I'm going to work myself to the bone and then just die one day?
what am I going to do? Then one day I'm just finally on a horse, like living my best life. I die on the horse.
You know what? I'm going to retire. Retire today. I'm going to retire young.
Exactly. So I am so just gassed, but by my own hand. But here, Shayla's saying, J-Bone, you look like Babyface today.
Oh,
you really do. I think it's like the dark light.
So Babyface is like, yeah, okay.
Did I tell you about bumping into a friend, and I was walking the dogs, and she just looked at me, and I was coming from the vet, and I looked very similar to this, and she looked at me, she goes, "Are you a dog walker?" I was like, what?
It's funny because you took that as the largest insult in your life.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah. But I also know people that are dog walkers, and I'm like, yeah, they're great people. And
I'm not judging it, but me in this, I know what a dog walker looks like, and they look cool, and they're like in Patagonia sweaters, and they're like walking 6 dogs. I was walking 2 dogs in this jacket with this hair. They were just like, and they knew I was an actor, so they just were like, "Are you a dog walker?" Anyways, I very much am a dog walker today.
Well, I'm apparently part of 90s in sync because look at this. Frosted tips.
Like Jan says, when you do lean in to the sun, you got some bleach.
No frosted forehead.
Yeah. So anyways, but Shayla says, I should have said yes because I'm getting rich. Speaking of, there is a new vid up today with me finally figuring out my website. So that's exciting. That first,
I love that. It's a journey that you can be on. It's so meta and it's fun. The journey of creating this to get rich, and that's how you're getting rich.
Can I tell you this too? So I had the lovely and wonderful Christina Walkinshaw on the CC Gets Rich podcast, and since then, guess what? We're in the news, baby. We are in.
I saw that
news.
In your mind, Barbara.
We are in the news. Well, she's in the news, but guess who picked it up again? Narcity.
Man, Narcity, you know what? Narcity is my favorite source for any sort of news.
Narcity's on the pulse. So listen to the podcast, and then had an interview with Christina. And now Christina will be on News Talk 1010 tomorrow, all from the podcast. So that's all I'm saying.
That's great. That's amazing. This is because she's still in New York, and now she's still getting Canadian press. This is amazing.
It's incredible. So if you haven't listened to the podcast, have a little listen. And Laura just said, I really enjoyed the video. Very honest. Thank you, Laura. That's so nice. There's nothing more scary about starting something and you're legitimately into it. As it's similar to the model photos. I think that's the vibe for the week, is being like authentically into something.
It's crazy because I'm getting like a lot of, everyone's been very nice about like responding to those pics on Instagram.
I didn't make fun. I didn't even throw in a joke. I let all those land on our Instagram.
I know you were waiting for it though.
I was not.
You held back.
Not at all.
But I was like, this is like the most likes my pictures I've ever got. I'm like, oh Jesus, this is.
Sorry, just to cut you off for one quick second. Brittany says, I'm at work and my boss is sitting next to me, so I can't put the sound on. So if we can all just wave at Brittany.
Is there a way we can turn on closed captioning?
I mean, not during a live stream, but afterwards. It's there. But anyways, but those photos you were getting some traction. People were very much into it.
They're very nice. Which is great.
No one said anything about the no shoes.
Nope. Well, you did twice, but yeah.
Well, I couldn't believe.
I just walked out my front door and took a quick pic.
Sure, but like put on a slipper. Like it's just.
Well, the thing is, you said fashion forward, which I know that outfit already isn't fashion forward, but I'm like, any of my shoes that I put on, that's going to be the first thing that we also make fun of because I'm like,
no.
I just got some running shoes. Here you go. Let's go.
So you're coming down for the holidays.
Big time.
December, and I think that you and I should do a photo shoot.
Great.
And
it'll be snowy out, so we can do like snow angels and stuff.
Yes. Sure. Yeah. I love how you're like, we're outside. We're wearing mitts.
Well, we're gonna be outside. There's still coronavirus.
Well, yeah, you can quarantine.
Spoiler alert, it'll still be in
Yeah.
December. It'll still be there.
But we'll figure it out. We'll get some sexy pics in there. But I liked that you were like, oh, fashion forward. And it brought you back to the wonderful years of like 1997, where like families were doing jeans and white shirts. And I believe you have a family portrait where you're all in jeans and white shirts. Am I incorrect?
I don't know. I don't think we've ever had family portraits. We've never had like a
yes, you have.
Family. No, we have not.
Yes, you have. Jason.
You can say that, and maybe there's a picture with us, but like I don't think we've done.
You literally had a family portrait session done with.
Oh, you mean with like the entire extended family and all that kind of stuff?
Remember, you were in the brown jacket and the hoodie.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
How do I know more about your life?
Well, because Charlie wasn't even around. Like that's from like I thought you meant like with Charlie and stuff. Charlie wasn't even in existence at that point. That was a long time. That was like 7 years ago.
Yeah. So anyways. That's going to be really fun I remember my parents like showing me photos when I was not in them. And like, I was but a twinkle in the eye of my parents. And I was like, what is this life? I don't recognize these people, them having fun, no responsibility. Anyways. But I just thought, oh, his fashion forward is like 1997, shoes off. Like
I didn't have a fashion forward. That's the whole thing. Like I could go through my,
you have a fashion forward.
I didn't spend the time on looking up and being like, well, what is like currently in fashion for like 40-year-old man?
But I think fashion forward is just looking at your clothes and going, what would be like the most wild outfit?
You said that then on our last episode, and then I included, I'm like, I've got some things that I think that would be really fun.
Well, then maybe we get some weekend photos going.
Okay.
Amanda says that she loves this challenge because she usually hates pictures because they don't ever look great, but this was so fun. And I tried some different makeup things, which I never usually do.
That's what you were just talking about. Like, let's just go crazy. Let's go crazy. Jump into a tickle trunk and even find out if you got something in there that you might be able to pull off.
I think I'm going to post my pictures on my timeline. I had fun. So there you go.
Post it, but tag us.
Tag us at the Regular so we can share it.
It hasn't been clear what Snake King, who he is or she is. It hasn't been gender related at all. But if I can get some more dudes out there, I need one other dude to help me out. And like,
I know. Are you disappointed in Jameson's behavior?
Jameson has been MIA. Hopefully he's all right.
Jameson has been MIA. Like, I mean, do we have to make this a highlight and just clip it, put it on Instagram, and go like, "Where's Jameson been?" Like,
we might have to do a whole segment on where's Jameson.
Tickle, bitch. I mean, remember when Snake King wasn't on and we were like, where's Snake King? Like, where's Jameson? Yeah. Did he walk into the ocean and never return? We're
so happy you're back, Snake King. I mean, now we're missing Voodoo Line, but
and Voodoo Line, it's true. Snake King, where is he? Claire says, I haven't been on the live chat in weeks because I've had work meetings, so happy to be back. And Jan says she's texting Jameson because you know what? Okay. $50 says he's on set.
I'm not taking that bet because the odds would, the only reason why I would is because the odds would be incredible. Like,
the odds against him not
like it would have to be 100 to 1 to bet against that because you're like, there's a great probability that's where he is.
Yeah. And you know what? Like
we're in COVID, there's 3 projects going, but Jameson's on that project.
Jameson's on those projects. I will say like, yeah, I mean, I'm a nosy Nelly, so I think he was on set last week because I was just like, where are you? I'll just ask. I have no problem asking people where they're at.
Oh, you knew the whole time.
No. This was last week.
Yeah. He's like, I'm on set for a show that I'm going to be on for 6 weeks. And you're like, okay.
No.
That, though.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a 6-week gig. But I need to know.
This is so great that people are, we see people like Claire that is like, yeah, I've had meetings. But there's a lot of people and then people are like in work today. I guess the pandemic is sort of, it's not.
Well, people are back at work. I mean.
Yeah.
This was the question that Jason and I were talking about. I mean, not that we can do that now, but like, do we still like this time? Is this still working for everybody?
Put it in the chat. Let us know. You're the most important people. You guys are the
God, that's so nice.
Look, there's the population, which are people that listen to this after the fact.
And we love them. Except know that you're less than, because the people that are here, the people that are here with us today,
They're like the senators. They're like in the Congress. They get to actually speak for you and voice
No,
their
don't
opinions.
even be like that. But for those who do watch us live, we were just thinking about that because people are, we're evolving and growing with, this new normal. And we were just like, does 12:30 still work for everyone? Would everyone rather it in the afternoon, coming home earlier in the morning? Who knows? I mean, Jason's already up pretty early.
You don't even want to talk about it. Like, what? I'm running on about 2 hours sleep today, which is great.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Why?
I had some stuff to do last night that went really late, and then Charlie had a bad dream, and then Charlie had 2 bad dreams, and then he got up early. So it's all put together.
Damn. I'm
curious what his bad dreams are, because whenever he never remembers, but then he's remembered 3 times, and he's always like, "It's a big spider."
Yeah.
He loves spiders. He's not afraid of them at all. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering what that represents. Have you ever looked it up?
Oh no, because I don't think I don't know if I feel like when you get older, your brain's going to be a little more like there's these metaphorical things that pop through and everything. But I think spiders, I think when you're that age, it's very literal. He's just afraid of the spider. It's probably really big.
I don't know. I wonder what that represents though. I don't think it's that simple. Laura says she's 99% of the time after the fact. And we love that. However you're consuming it, we want you to consume it. But no, I'm wondering because I feel like kids are like at this time, like really developing like nuanced emotions and they're learning how to cope and how to like regulate.
It's a good question because at what age do you start to have metaphorical dreams? If that is true, that it's very literal. It's like,
well, I mean, not to get too deep about it, but like what, he's 3?
4.5.
4.5. So wow, way off.
She'll tell you if you call him 4, he'll change you quickly.
Yeah. I remember even my nephew, I was like, how old are you? 3? He was like, I'm 5. Like I was like, what
18.
I'm 18.
You asked me to go get you some beer.
Yeah. And you didn't even give me extra money for gas. And I'm like, and what? But 4.5. So you're like, yeah, I think like he's developing like certainly like social skills and like, I was already learning how to like adapt and like, associate with people and sort of feel shame or embarrassment or hurt or
I have no memories of 4.5.
Nor do I. I have no memories. If someone was like, what was it like being 21? I'd be like, well, yesterday I couldn't tell you what I had for lunch.
Oh no.
Oh, Google says,
sorry.
Jesus.
We pressed it at the same time.
Google says spiders can mean being manipulated or that the dreamer is the manipulator.
I can tell you who's what in that scenario.
He's the manipulator.
Yeah.
Well, of course. I mean, and that's perfect. That's such a perfect matchup. Like Charlie being a manipulator, you loving to be manipulated. That's such a great relationship.
Yeah.
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 Because you're like kind and sweet
But is that one of those things? It's like when you have those people in your life that are just like really bad liars, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, I was late. I was just like whatever, this or that," and you're like, "No, you weren't." Like he's at an age where whatever lie he tells me, you're like, you just go along with it. You're like, "Yeah, I know, buddy," and it's like,
oh no, you have to catch him on those lies. You have to catch him on those lies because Jason, he needs to know that he needs to get better at lying, which is, like I remember being like, it can't ever be a big story.
Maybe that's the whole thing. Like if I don't feed him fodder, then I won't give him ammo in the sense of like he won't get better at that as a teenager at lying.
But he's going to show up late with a coffee and a bagel in his hand and be like, traffic was crazy. That's how bad of a liar he's going to be. Okay. He's going to be the guy whose partner goes to him like, hey, you didn't like text me. And he'll be like, oh, my phone was off. And it's like, it's on right now in your hand. You need to train him to be a better liar. So he'll be better in society.
I guess I haven't been getting your text, but you texted me back right after when I asked who wants coffees today. And you said grande double. Oh, I got that one.
I got that one. And guess what? That's real people. Those are real scenarios that I've lived where people are like, I didn't get your text. I'm like, it says delivered. Yeah, but I didn't get it. You responded back. Oh.
You responded back to a separate text that was beneficial.
Which text are you talking about? And I'm like, you know what? I love that your parents told you were a good liar when you were 4. Because mine told me I was terrible. And now I know how to operate in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was like in grade 1 and they're like, what do your parents do? I'm like, it's actually pretty great over here. We're all really, it's very luxurious. It's very like, we're getting everything we need. And I don't, Melissa, is that your name? That's right. Well, you're 23, 24. I love that you're teaching grade 1. I think we all appreciate it here.
Yeah.
We're okay.
A finance facilitator. That's what my dad does. What's that? Really, it's really intricate work. Oh
my dad is a finance. So it's very intricate. It's very layered. I don't want to waste your time in show and tell. Because I think Carissa got a shell from the beach. So let's hear about that shell, Carissa. Yeah. Never young, but oh, Melissa, I feel so seen. Melissa says, people used to message me for excuses to call in sick because I was so good at coming up with reasons. Me too. The second I took advice from our friends, the one time I took advice about calling in fake sick, I got fired because I didn't listen to my gut. It was too extreme.
But we've heard all your fired stories. This is a new fired story. So you've been fired from another job.
No. So, it's a really gross story. I don't mind sharing it.
So this is your model picture right here. This is the vulnerability of that I went through for model pictures.
Yeah. So I worked at, sorry, I'm like trying to get this, like I put on lipstick before for no reason. I'm not wearing any other makeup. Watch this at youtube.com/theregulars. So I worked at a restaurant and I was a host. I think I've talked about this before.
I don't know. Is this like, because I can't even picture you. We've talked about J-Bone style. Was this a Jack Astor's type of?
No, I would have killed at a Jack Astor's. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
What did the back of your shirt say?
Tip this with an arrow pointed to my ass.
I was going to say, those The Man, the Legend shirts?
Yeah. The man.
Mine would be that, except on the back. The man and then the legend would be my butt.
I would do the man, the legend, and then I would have pants made that like the back of the pant is a bit higher. So it looks like cash is coming out of my asshole. But I worked at this like shishi wee wee restaurant. Not really, but like finance people would go there. And I was a host. And I was like, all the girls were so pretty and so hot. And the dress code was business casual, and I would get in trouble for like not dressing like sexy enough. This was before I was like in my really early 20s, just started improvising. Like I would be at a shift and be like, can I go? I have an improv show I could hop on.
Yeah. I think you have talked about this before where you showed up like the company party and they were all like,
no, not company party, work. And
I know, but that's not the well, that's great.
I business clothes in mid-rise pants. And they're like, what the fuck are you wearing? I was like, the dress code, bitch. And they were like, no. Sex it up. And I was like, no.
If I can't see 3 inches under your belly button, then get out of here. You're fired.
Truly. Anyways, long story short, I didn't want to go in, and a friend of mine was like, just say you have pink eye. If you have pink eye, then no one will question it because it's disgusting. You can't go into work.
Yeah.
And they wanted a doctor's note. And I was just like, what? But then long story short, a girl had basically like cold sores, but like the next level of cold sores. So it was like all over her face and like her body. And she gave it. We all got it. It was really gross.
You all got it?
Oh, I got it. It was.
That means you got that for life now.
But listen, not to brag, but I've been dealing with cold sores my whole life. I will openly talk about it. It's fine. It's really shitty. But anyways, I walked in. I was like, what's on your face? No one.
Maybe you were ground zero for that. Maybe.
No, the woman was, because she was like, had it all. And I had come in.
Yeah, but she came in. She said, I've never had this before. Oh my God, what happened? I mean, Stacey and I rubbed cheeks together yesterday, but that was just a joke.
I had said that I had pink eye, so I had not gone in, and then a nightmare. Anyways, long story short, it was a disgusting exit. Sneaking. That's really gross. Yeah, I know. And that's life. And that's life. And what I can tell you is that's probably the least grossest thing that's ever happened in that restaurant. It was really gross. Yeah. And then, you know, it was funny. My brothers called me Randy Bo Bandy from the Trailer Park Boys because I had to put like Band-Aids over like the little like blisters on my arms.
Oh, this was that long ago. You're still like living at home.
No. I was living in Toronto, but I had to go home to recoup.
Oh, right.
Whatever. That's like when in the VP debates and Mike Pence brought up swine flu and I started laughing so hard. Not like I know people were affected by swine flu, but my friend Danielle was also had swine flu, and that's when I found out she was a huge wrestling fan.
Because of swine flu?
Yeah, so
I'm missing the reference, and there's obviously a WWE reference there.
No, there isn't, because on her door she was like, I have swine flu, don't come in, just like written the saddest little note. And then one day our room back to the kitchen and I came out to like get some food and she was just sneaking out to like get something and she just had a full Triple H nightgown on and I was like, the fuck? And she's like, don't look at me.
It could be just something that she bought. It could be something that she just bought at a thrift store.
No, she's a massive. She was a girl I brought to. I know
who she is. Yeah, I know who she is.
No, but we went to Raw together, and then there was that photo of us both doing this in our little hands.
That's right.
Anyways, who cares about this? This sucks. This whole story. And then Kayla's laughing at me, calling me Bo Bandy.
That's a really good name.
Kayla says she got something similar from a flea market. See, do you know what I mean? Listen,
I feel that. I told you that the other day. Was my mic just really hot there? I don't know what happened. But going into like, sometimes when you just go into those, like anywhere, like a thrift shop or something, you come out and you're like, I don't know. I feel like I got dust on me that's going to give me Bo Bandy.
I love that we're calling it Bo Bandy. There's nothing grosser. There's nothing sadder than having like a gross, like oh my god, like I mean, we don't need to talk about cultures, but like having had them since I was like 5 years old. Yeah. I've just always had them. It is so embarrassing.
Most people get them,
but it's just like not something that like people talk about. And I mean, you have to talk about it because you can see it, but like you just feel so gross.
Yeah. I know. I had it was either a sty or pink eye. I think I had sty. And I had to go like to rehearsal with Sunday Night Live at one point, which is a bunch of people that if you walk in with anything wrong, they're going to rip you apart immediately, which was great. And I say that as if it was their bad people.
How rude of you to go to rehearsal with pink eye.
I didn't. I think it was a sty because I used to get styes a bunch. But our good friend of the pod, Craig Brown, instantly was like, he's like, oh, you put poo on your eye. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because that's where you get that from. You get that from getting poo on your eye. And you're so dirty. I was like, oh, great, right away.
Yeah, because pink eye is poo in the eye, and there's no escaping that. Like the shame of pink eye is just because everyone's like, poo eye, would you fart and like cup it under your eye? It's like, no, I didn't.
Although then Stacey goes home and goes, I don't want to go to work tomorrow, and just starts farting into her hand, pushing it towards her eye.
Listen, I've had friends fart in their pillow and give themselves pink eye by accident because they were doing a prank and then they got pink eye.
This is going to be hilarious.
First of all, this is a hilarious story. Shayla says, I had a big bout with pink eye in college. My roommate's boyfriend brought it home from a strip club.
Oh man, that's probably a tough strain right there.
Tough strain. You can't touch it. You cannot touch it.
That's pink eye that lasts a while. That's when your eyes just both go red and you become like a superhero almost. Ooh.
And Tasha says, and if you get it from someone else, then their poop is in your eye, I guess. 1,000%. That's why a lot of my friends who have like
dude, we're poop brothers. Yeah.
But hasn't Charlie given you poop like a poop eye, pink eye?
No.
I feel like gross kids are always like playing with their butt.
Pink eye.
Oh, he's never had it?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not that I can remember. I know I haven't in a long time.
Good. I mean, I had a sty.
But apparently, according to Kayla, poop particles are always in the air, so they're all over.
Yeah, it's all over your phone. How many times do you take your phone to the bathroom and you take a shit and hide from your family, and you just like sit and watch a video?
Yeah, sure. I know what you mean. They say, but in the air is hilarious to me because it just means like as soon as you stand up, your poo goes, yeah, we're out here now, and you're like, oh geez.
Like, what will this Friday be? And it's like fucking poop. It's Bo Bandy's.
Yeah, poop ghost. It's just a poop ghost that goes around your house and goes. And when you get haunted, you get pink eye.
Oh my god, that's terrible. Yeah, there's just nothing worse. I got an allergic reaction from mascara a couple weeks ago. My eye was all swollen, and I was just like, Jesus
You
Christ.
put poop on that mascara.
Yeah. Yeah. Craig actually called me the second I put the mascara on. He's like, "Did you put poop in there?" You know what he used to do? He'll be mad that we're talking about him, but he every time I would leave to go to the bathroom, if we were ever out to dinner, I would come back and he'd be like, "How was your shit?"
Yeah.
You went for a long poo. Loud enough for everyone to hear it. I was like, no.
Yeah, like if you're at the bar out after with like the staff and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
How's your shit in the back there?
It was like, I wasn't pooing.
Great.
We got to talk about it, like my grandma.
If you just say great, it kind of ends the joke. Great. It's awesome.
I had my grandmother always said when I felt bad about myself or less than, and I think I've said this on the podcast before, but she was like, even the queen shits. And, if you're ever having a low moment, just think about the queen having to be at a function and going, oh my God.
That was your grandma that gave you that advice.
Huh?
Wasn't that your grandma that gave you that?
Like you said, yeah.
Oh.
My grandma gave me that. And so now I always think about the queen having diarrhea being like, oh my fucking God, what do I have to do today?
Well, it's like we talk about when you're doing shows and all of a sudden it's like, what if it's an off day with your stomach and you got to get out there on stage and you're out there for an hour and you're like, well, especially like when we did our Fringe and it's like, there's no breaks. It's the two of us out there for an hour. So it's like, well, gotta get it out beforehand. But think about those rides. Cause first of all, the queen is above 80 years old and she's got to go on like those parade routes with her hand. Like, no, she's probably wearing a diaper.
Allegedly.
But I would say, like, why not? What else are you doing? Like, you're out there and you're 80 years old and you're waving. Like, you just gonna eat a bunch of cheese and hope it plugs it up. Or
bunch of bananas. Jan says, once I had to wear a patch because she had a scratch cornea and no one said anything because they thought I was doing a bit. That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Her bit was pirate that doesn't talk like a traditional pirate.
Or just someone who refuses to admit they're wearing a patch. Hey guys, what's going on? Oh yeah, weather's crazy, huh? It's getting chilly. It's October. And it's like, hi. Just refusing.
I want to do this in my life now. I think I'm going to find something to do today and just not mention it and see how far I can get.
Oh, that'd be great. I think I'm already doing it. I'm a woman who looks like a dog walker who's pretending that she's got it all together. It's a really fun layered bit. I'm killing it.
You always are the first one to take a crap on your hair. I don't think anyone ever notices. They just go, yeah, you just got a hair up in a bun. I mean, today you've got the I Dream of Jeannie falling to the side outside of it, but like normally it's fine.
It's because I was under my desk.
I know.
I've just given up. I've just really given up. I will tell you on Wednesday's podcast, I did get a Popeye's chicken sandwich and it was literally out of control. I know. I'm telling you, my health kick was going great. I felt amazing. Top of the world. I'm going to get back to that starting today, but man, oh man.
But as soon as you feel the rewards from it, then you go, great. Now I'll reward myself with a few days of binge drinking and Popeye sandwiches.
But it's not even, it's like, I've been crushing these tall can bubblies. It is just like, oh, I'll get this chicken sandwich. Oh yeah. I'll get, pizza. Like I'm just like eating terribly. Emma says this brings me back to Regular Girls when Stacey and Renee's first episode was about being regular.
Was it?
I'm sure. I mean,
so you guys started the Regulars and you're like, oh, that's funny. We started a thing called the Regulars. Are you regular?
Well, we started as Regular Girls. And then I think Renee and I always talked about shit, literally, and just things, we all got to talk about it. Everyone poos.
Everyone poos, even the queen. And sometimes it's messy. Oh
my God. As my dad says, she even has to grab the shower curtain sometimes.
That can mean a couple of different things, but all of them are great imagery. So I'm loving it. And the toilet paper.
I can't remember what stand-up I was watching, and they were talking about I think it was Maya Rudolph on SNL, and she was doing the bit with at the VP debates, and she was doing a joke about like when you're looking at the roll of toilet paper, the empty roll of toilet paper, and you're like, well, I'm gonna wipe my ass now, and then you look at your old t-shirt with a pair of scissors, and you're like, are we doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a random thing that I'm sure you know about him, but you know who I've really gotten into during the pandemic is Nate Bargatze. Do you watch his stuff?
No.
I'm obsessed. You know, when you find a comic and you're like, this is maybe the funniest person
You
ever.
found about 3 lately because there's also Tom Segura and Kyle Dunnigan. Was it Kyle
I've known
Dunnigan?
Kyle Dunnigan for a while.
Well, you brought him up just last episode.
Well, yeah, because now he's really pumping out some content. But Kyle Dunnigan has the funniest sketch about farts you'll ever see. You will ever see.
I love it.
Yeah, and then, but anyways, Neighbor got to you. But I just watched, like, I just streamed a full week of all of his stuff. I feel terrible. I didn't know about him.
You can't know about every comic. I started watching that Comedy Store stuff. I don't know if you saw
Oh
that.
yeah, I watched that documentary too.
Yeah, 2 episodes in.
Great. Oh, I wanted to say this. This is what I had. I wanted to bring up. So I was hanging out with some pals on front porch, distancing, of course.
It's crazy that we still have to say that every time.
I know, but I just want people to know.
I'm going to a friend's pool today. Social distance pool party, hang out. We're just going to barbecue away from each other. Full masks.
I know.
Outside of the pool, of course, but in the pool, we're going to be socially distanced. So
it's so funny now how when you're like, well, I'm going to go out to hang out with some friends, 2 sweaters, 2 coats, gloves. It's probably going to be cold out. And anyways, we started playing this game, and it's the most fun game in the entire world. And when we were playing it, I was like, Jason would be the funniest at this game.
I want to do this.
Okay.
So like a Jackbox kind of game or something?
No, it's like a made up game that we all made up, and it's really fun. Okay. So it's a take on an improv game called First Line, Last Line.
Okay.
But it's first line, last line of a fringe show. So a fringe show is in an independent theater like circuit of amazing creators who make, Jason and I have done it. Like some of our friends are like huge in the whole fringe community. But anyways, we were doing first line, last line of fringe shows, and it was so funny that I thought maybe we could play a few rounds. So in the chat, if you have any genres of theater shows, like what's like a genre of theater or a genre of film, and then you have to give the first line of that show and the last line of that show.
I love it.
Okay, so just to like get us warmed up, what I want to know is it's like an autobiography of your life. First line, last line.
Was warmer than it normally is on September 5th, 1975, and there she was laying.
Ew.
And the last line, and that brings us to here today. Thank you. It's literally just I detail every day. Thank you. Welcome to my experimental 6-week. We did it, guys.
Okay. How about this one? Okay. Okay. So now it's like an inspirational. It's an inspirational show. And if you have titles of shows, let us know.
This is my first line to the inspirational show.
Okay, great.
Having a tough day. This is me cleaning out a pint glass.
I know, but you were having to mime so high. Okay, last line.
Keep the change.
It's truly the most fun game in the entire world. It's so funny.
Great. Let's do yours is a coming of age story.
Okay. Okay. Okay, coming of age. Mom, I said I'd be in my room. First line. Last line. I wish you was alive to see me now. Not that funny, but
I love that all of ours end on like the lights are a slow fade. All of ours are like, yeah. And that's the day it happened.
And that's the day. Okay. How about this one? Okay, this is a relationship.
Just a straight up relationship?
Let's say like a marriage story kind of thing.
Okay, here's my first line.
Okay.
Oh, a new bookstore.
Last line.
She does look like both of us.
Okay, sorry.
There's definitely better lines than that. I felt weak on that one.
No. But I thought, sorry, the reason I died is I thought you were holding a baby and then turned it into a book.
That's what something should have. Yeah. Oh my God.
Anyways, I mean, listen, it's just my most favorite. Like, I was dying laughing. I highly suggest, if you're bored and at home, listening to this or otherwise, just go play First Line, Last Line of anything, right?
Just know, like, most Fringe shows are people trying to be too emotional, and it shows.
It shows. But also you can play First Line, Last Line for everything. Like, okay, like you do First Line, Last Line, teen boy working a shift at McDonald's. Go.
Sorry, I didn't get your text. I'm late.
Last line?
No, because I quit. No, that was a bad one. I didn't like any of that. I didn't like any of that.
Was bad. First line, last line would be like, yo, what's up, bro? Last line of a shift. All right, let's go bang some chicks.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Or the first line is like, Samantha.
Samantha. Also, I like this, like, Samantha.
And then the last line is like, I guess I've learned a lot today about the opposite gender.
Oh God, I hate this.
That was back to Fringe style.
Let's do one more. Melissa just wants a horror. So, like, let's do first and last of a horror.
Am I doing the first line?
Yeah. Okay,
I'll do the first line and you do the last line.
Okay, great.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Camp Tawanga.
Hey, everyone. My name's Spark, and welcome to Camp Tawanga.
Ponds over there. Beers aren't over there. Wink. In your colors, green, red, orange. You're the teams.
Okay, we didn't say first scene, last scene.
This is all a monologue. It's on the page. It's still one line.
Also, this is what I love about you. You still, when you are in charge of the narrative, make yourself the smallest character. Your name in the credits would be counselor. You would be the first murdered.
Oh, that's the career I want. Like, just I want to be in 106 movies, but like everyone's like, you know that guy's face. I know that guy from somewhere. Like that's my dream.
You know what I would love? I would love that movie to be like, welcome to Camp Tawanga. And then you walk off to be like getting supplies to get beer and the whatever. And then you die, right? And then you get murdered. Yeah. Horrifically by like some creature, some person. But then the movie's not about that. It just goes like 20 years before. And then it's just your body. It's just this one character's life.
It's called Shit Memento. Camp Shitty Memento. I love it. I thought you were going to say it's like he goes back and he gets murdered. And then it is the horror movie that you expected, but then the next camp counselor comes out and I just play a bit different, but it's just like, oh guys, Spark died.
I think it should go back at least a summer where we get like some sort of like 70s summer comedy featuring you, but we know your ultimate demise is the end of the season of Camp Tawanga. We know you're going to die.
We should do a short series of that, like just do like a web series where it's just like we show the crazy death and then it doesn't matter. Death has nothing to do with the rest of the thing.
Death has nothing to do with it.
No
like,
purpose.
Or it's like the guy from Camp Tawanga dies and then like I'm like, hello? And then I'm like, oh my God, hey guys, you know that guy from like middle school? He died at Camp Tawanga. Anyways, Chrissy, what do you think about this marriage? Like, it's like you're such an afterthought.
I think I love the best man.
Yeah, and then the whole thing is about the best man. But
I love that this is turning into like we're gonna do a Memento style movie, but it just keeps calling to other people, and then we never come back to the original people. It just gets further and further away from the story.
I think what's funny is a horrific murder off the top, like a very horror genre styles. And then, Like a guy, it's like It Follows, where like the person's just following them the whole time. So like that's the cold open, and then it pops to like someone else, like her like that guy's ex-girlfriend who's like moved on.
Yeah.
And then the whole movie's about her, and he keeps walking around the city like, I'm being followed, and we're like, oh my god, like Chris and like Glass is mine. You know what I mean? Like whatever. It's like a subplot. I think that's so funny.
It's like the D story in a feature film.
Yeah. Like I want that. Like when you think about Dirty Dancing and like
I want it to be like a full hour, 45-minute movie where the person dies off the top, and the only callback is like at one point they walk into like a coffee shop and that guy's just working behind the bar. He's the barista, and he's like, "Here's your coffee." Ow, hot. And that's the only time he's in the movie.
Totally. Because you think it's gonna be like, hey, we're gonna get to yeah, because it's like, hey guys, welcome to Camp Tawanga. And then it's like 2 years before, and we're like, oh man, we're really gonna get to this murderer. And it's just him going, oof.
But then people would walk out and go, what's the meaning of that?
Exactly. We'd be billionaires.
You know what it is? It's life. You never know when it's gonna happen. It could have happened that day when he burnt himself.
Exactly.
Gotta live life to the fullest. Wow.
Gotta live life to the fullest.
Anyways, you guys
so glad Tawny ended up with the best man.
Well, we're doing that.
We're doing that. I mean, we just added to the pile because we got a lot of things. You know? Now, Jan, I am looking for an update on Jameson's whereabouts. Is he alive? Is he well? There was a text put in.
Is he on set?
It's just what we want to know. Yeah, I think that would be a really great movie idea, and I look forward to us making $1 trillion. That'll be if he gets rich. Is you and I trying to sell this feature film idea? So it starts with Camp Tawanga. Then we never come back to Camp Tawanga. It's about something completely different.
You two have come in here wearing outfits like you look like the twins in The Shining.
So you're getting it.
We like to set a tone.
So you're agreeing our branding is top notch?
No, we don't get it. Can you call Kyle and tell him not to come in here on his tricycle? He's going to pop in at some point.
I do wonder, like, this might be inside baseball, but like, I wonder when people do pitch television shows if they've been that elaborate, because they have to have been, and they had to have fallen huge.
Yeah, I've heard different stories before of people being like, well, they come in and like, if you're pitching something that has like a Borat style character, then you got to come pitch as Borat. And I'm like, I don't know. That's a
no. And like, just explain, like the times that we have ever pitched anything, literally people sit at a table and they're like, okay, what's the pitch? Like it does go into like, pitch us, you know? And so I just
go, nice. That's what we do.
My wave. Melissa, ghost Jameson. Oh yeah, Jan, no text back. He's probably deceased. Hashtag Camp Tawanga. So like, can you imagine that people are just like, okay, Stacey, Jason, whenever you're ready for your pitch, and we're like, it's golden hour, 5 p.m.
Picture it.
Where are we? And then you bust through me like from the back to the front. Welcome to Camp Tawanga.
I see a pad of paper over there and some pens over there.
Yeah. Jason is wearing a shirt. It's a bit torn. Like it's so elaborate. And they're like, thanks, you can leave now. Yeah.
We forgot we had a flash drive with the first 7 minutes all done. We've kind of like shot it as a bit of a sizzle reel, but it's okay. We're going to act it out for you right here.
Does anyone have a floppy disk reader? I was going to bring my computer, but then my mom needed it. So I couldn't bring my computer here.
Do people even know what floppy disks are? Like, do you remember those with like the circle in the middle of the square and the little...
Yes. Where I was like, I need a floppy disk. My essays due. And then you'd be like, Mr. Roberts, I have it all right here.
C, semicolon, backslash. I'm in the C drive. Let's go. I don't even...
I do. I mean, I remember when you would have to write your essays. And this is when I became, oh, wow. We've got a huge Jameson update. She goes, I spoke too soon. He is not deceased. He has just been busy. Today he is getting a haircut.
A socially distanced haircut. I'm fine.
That's right. We're wearing our masks.
My barber has developed. He got an umbrella and cut 2 holes in it, and he wears it sideways. He's fine.
Yeah, we're fine. Jan, I would like you to ask a follow-up. Ask if he's been busy on set. I think we all want to know. Has he been on set? That's really funny. So I was out with my friends. Distance, of course. We were at a park. She was at a different park. I was at this park. We were both wearing masks. We were talking.
We were at a makeout dentist, socially distanced.
Makeout
dentist?
What the fuck is a makeout dentist?
I don't know.
That's gotta suck. Like, if someone's like, I met someone and like we kissed, it was really great. It's like, excuse me, we got COVID, we got tests, we quarantined.
Oh my God. I'm quarantining. We're going on a first date. We met on Tinder and we've decided 2 weeks beforehand we're going to.
I know friends who have been going on dates with people. It's been going well. And now they have to like prep to kiss each other. So they both have to get COVID tests. And
that's crazy. But also like, that's nuts.
Because imagine doing all of that.
Yeah.
And then it sucks so bad. Because
it's like in that 2 weeks, they've reconnected with like an old flame or something. They're like,
I know.
I don't know.
Like, but can you imagine, like, we've all had a terrible kiss or a terrible makeout. And can you imagine having like,
if you haven't realized that you're the one giving the terrible kiss?
I mean, hello.
Because I've never had a terrible kiss. Now I'm like,
you've never had a terrible kiss?
No, that's not true. Of course, you go through like, because everybody kisses a bit differently. So then it's like, oh yeah, well, some of them are.
There was a guy when I worked at the Dairy Queen who notoriously was maybe the worst kisser.
If he's notoriously the worst kisser, it does mean that he's kissed a lot of people. He's like, everyone's like, oh, Brad's the best. I want to kiss Brad too. And then
can I tell you, he was like gross a bit. Like I just like he got ladies, but I didn't know how.
Was he covered in Bandy?
He wasn't covered in Bandy, but his way of kissing was just shooting his tongue into your mouth.
Oh, but you guys were teenagers and not knowing what the hell's going on. What's a French kiss? You got to put your tongue in the other person's mouth. Okay.
Do you think I in high school had any reference to French kissing? Give me a break. Give me a break. What I would have given. You know what I mean?
I know.
Break. But anyways, but I just think about like, quarantining, getting that test, and then
that's a lot, man. Like we're really you gotta put a lot of time and effort into these dates.
But maybe it's like super romantic because it's like you're not gonna like wait. You're not gonna do all that for someone you don't really care for.
You're right. Like there's all those feelings when you start getting together. Like that's also the anticipation. The only stress would be like, because you're quarantining, you're probably not seeing that person, I guess, for 2 weeks either. So you got to be like, are they sticking to this? Like I'm sticking to this.
There would have to be trust, and
you just met this person, so it's already like it's hard to trust people.
Totally, and you would also have to like, I like to get in. I like to get in, smooch, see what's up. I don't like to, really, waste my time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what if they're bad? It's like, get out of there. You need that. You need. Look at how I'm dressed. No makeup. This fucking hair. I'm like, when you're talking romance, you gotta get in. And I know I have standards. It's like I'm a fucking mess.
I love that whenever you talk about relations or romance, you just turn into Kyle.
Teen boy.
Yeah.
When you're romancing your partner, here's the best tip: snacks, snacks, and snacks. That is the worst part about newly dating someone is when you're hanging out. It's like there's never substantial snacks. When you date someone, it's like we get pizza, a couple beers.
Yeah.
A chocolate option. Yeah, it's all about the food.
But you should be doing that right away, right? Like
people don't, because you have to be like, I don't even eat. Like,
We had a friend that was like so meticulous about it. They ordered the same thing, which is they took their date to the same place every time.
Exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about.
We won't bring it up too much in detail, but like they ordered the same thing every time because they knew like if I get something different, maybe I'll spill spaghetti sauce on myself, or maybe I'll bite and it'll be too hard. So they're like, I always
Well,
go to
that's
this
like
place. I order this food, and I know like I won't have any troubles.
well, Jason and I tried to shoot this thing, but then we realized at the time we didn't have cameras or ability to do it. But the idea of like hitting that point in your relationship where you can eat wings in front of each other is a huge step because eating wings is disgusting. Like just watching someone eat wings is so gross.
Yeah, I used to have a friend that they would do the thumb thing or whatever, where they go and then one bite everything, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah. You know who does that? So I was watching Hot Ones, and Ronda Rousey is on it, and
she arm bars the wing.
dude, she does armbar the wing. Um, she snaps the one leg and then takes the thing. She scooped in a ranch, which I had never seen anyone dip on Hot Ones. Scoops it in fucking ranch, sucks it dry, and then crunches a celery.
That
And I
takes.
was like, oh, it was so aggressive.
You can't do ranch on Hot Ones, can you? That cools the hot. Get
Yeah,
out of here, Ronda Rousey.
but there's someone else on Hot Ones I can't think of who just like clean. Oh, who was it? I can't think of it. Who would just clean eat the wing? It was so gross. And then at the end of the episode, she says this. She goes, well, my husband's Mr. Rousey's not gonna be able to eat my ass for a week. And I was like, oh, I was like, Rhonda. I turned into like an ant. I was like, no, Rhonda. Ew. It was so aggressive. It was like, I couldn't believe it.
It's weird because like I was always like, no, I didn't. There was stuff I didn't like about her in the UFC world. But then like she does stuff like she was in the TV show Entourage and did a good job. And I was like, well, maybe she is funny in real life. Like maybe there's something about her that I was like, oh, damn it.
Listen, like she's like, I mean, she's great. But it was just wild. It was just like, and listen, I'm an aggressive, like not aggressive, but like I have a vibe, so I understand that, but hers was so aggressive. And I was just like, Jesus Christ.
What wing vibe are you on a first date? That's it. Stacey's like,
what wing vibe? If it was first date, we had to go for
saucy and hot.
Oh, like the wing places, like, listen, I'm a boring Betty, right? Like I'm like medium. I don't care. I don't want to have like flaming.
I don't mean what ones you're ordering. Like what vibe are you giving off?
Okay, so the way that I eat wings is like not great because I'm scared. I don't like the wing. So I break it apart and then I like pull the meat off with my hands and then I dip and then I eat.
You like the flatties like Melissa's putting out there, flatty wings.
I also like the drumsticks.
Drummies.
But I rip them all off. I don't go to my mouth.
I see.
Melissa says that she was I literally was just going to say how my first date with my ex was wings and not dry rub wings, definitely saucy wings. I mean, listen, I don't judge it. I think that's the way to go. Show who you are instantly. But damn, it's tough.
I like dry, but I like to get a bunch of hot sauce on the side so then I soak them basically.
I need saucy wings. I'm not
Yeah, I make them saucy, but I make them in front of me saucy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like your flavor profile is different from mine. Like you'd be putting
Definitely
random shit in a cup and I'd be like, ugh, Jason.
I basically have the taste buds of like a smoker that smoked for 96 years because it's just like I have to taste any flavor. I need to be like, can I just drink the bottle of hot sauce? Okay,
exactly.
Thank
you. When I worked at this restaurant, we had to have like a taste. We would like taste the menu before we could sell it or whatever. And the chef was certainly a smoker because it was so salty. Like I was like, ugh, because you can't taste that stuff. Boneless wings, says Elizabeth.
Adult chicken nugs
with a fork. See, that's the way to go too.
With a fork. Okay, great. So she's very classy on dates.
That's nice. Again, like I'm wondering, like I don't think I've ever been on like an actual first date with dinner.
My only time was a sweaty linen pants thing that we're not going to talk about ever again. But
but I just wonder, like, because eating in front of someone is like, because I remember my first date as a teen, which was such a sad story, but I was like ordering salad because I saw that in the movies. But but like a salad is tough.
Yeah.
Salad is tough.
Stuff falling all over the place with salad.
Mm-hmm. And what you're not gonna get like a buffalo chicken sandwich. Like what a mess. Like, oh yeah, tell me about your parents.
Jen did ask before what with our one friend that ordered the same thing every time. It was a steak. They had like a steak that they would have to go to at the keg.
Jen, you know this.
And Jen, you're good friends with this person, so
I think they'll happily tell you the story.
I think they'll happily tell you the story as well.
Kayla says it wasn't great. He was asking about our future before he even took a bite. That sounds nice.
So
nice.
Let's play a little game. If we had kids, what features would you want to keep on your kid if you had the choice?
Let's play a little game I like to call future first line, last line. And, the first line is will you? And the last line.
And the last line is tell our kids I love them.
You die first. You're not dying first. You're not leaving with the kids. I'm gonna go first.
I'm 46.
Goodbye.
But I'm dying. Bye-bye.
You know what I also was thinking about is you know when you're like the first date and it goes well and then like you have to ask like you think it's going well and the other person you don't know and you're like I think this is going well and then you have to be like so we should. Have you ever done that? Like you know that lean back of like so
I know what you mean.
Are you
I think I've done it to a point where it was like there was a chance of a second date, but then there was no longer a chance of a second date. You're like, yeah. I'm blowing this right now in this moment. Okay.
It's that awkward moment where you're like, okay, bye. I mean,
like, I had a good time. I had a good
time. So like, should we should.
Oh, my sleeve. Remember we had an inside joke earlier today? Oh.
So should we like, I don't know. Should we like,
I'll look you up on Facebook. I won't look you up on Facebook. That's
oh my God, you're crazy. That's so, I mean, you could look me up on, that's what it's like. And then, yeah, it's not ever great. I remember.
Do you remember that show Blind Date? Do you remember the show Blind Date?
Of course I do.
There was a classic one where a guy was like not getting the hint and at the end he went in for a kiss and they had like the ticker up at the thing. It was like 21 times, 22 times, 23 times. And he's just like, so I had a good time tonight. And
Blind Date was the worst because then he would go in and then they would have like an explosion because she was like, I don't think so, actually. It was always so mortifying.
Realize that was like the 90s and like or whatever.
Yeah.
And like those people are still around today and that probably follows them around. Remember that date you went on? I don't. Oh yeah, watch this.
Yeah. And it's like, do you think Leonard will seal the deal? Oh, and a miss. Brianna says the first date was with someone who turned out to be a Mason and spent 3 hours telling me about rituals and then ended with the fact that he doesn't eat beef because he can taste their sadness. Damn. Well, the good thing is you probably weren't like, should we? Are we? You're probably like,
did you feel my boredom? Did you?
Just a quick question here. Could you sense my sadness the second you open your mouth?
Also, the secret society that's centuries old of the Masons. You probably wouldn't go on a first date and be like, so I'm a Mason.
By the way,
anybody. Look at this tattoo.
I'm a Mason. There's a little thing I do. Oh, don't touch the beef. They're quite sad. I will take the pork though.
Aliens exist. They do. We've seen them.
Have you ever been on a first date and you think it's going great and then they're like, oh, I thought we're just friends. And you're like, what?
Only the thing is I didn't go on a lot of dates because most of my relationships started from friendships that became like, you're just like, oh, I think we're dating now. So I didn't do a lot of dating.
The first of all, like I struggle to open up in any capacity, but I went on a date. It was for sure a date. It was no question about it. It was like cocktails. We like hung out, like we closed the bar down, like laughing, joking, all that kind of stuff. Takes me home. And then I'm like, okay, weird. Like we didn't like kiss or whatever. And then like, I remember like texting, like being like, hey, like what a bad move, and then them being like, what? You're way like, but was like, you're way off. Like, I was like, what? It was the one of the worst experiences. I was like 25.
Maybe that person was just like, I don't know how to say the date went poorly, so I'll just pretend it wasn't a date.
But but the problem was I thought it went great. Like, I was like, in what world? But like, that's the scary
I've
thing.
had that before. I remember going on a date and being like, wow, that was awesome. And then never hearing from that person again. You're like, I wonder if they died.
That's a great movie. You think that you went on this amazing first date and you think that they've died because they haven't gotten back to you. And then
3 years later, you walk into a restaurant, you're like, Cindy, oh my God. Oh, you're okay. I've been so worried.
And the last line of that movie?
And that's where we put the funds from her Kickstarter.
Oh my God, she died. Why is everyone dying in your
She didn't die. I just started a Kickstarter because I thought she was dead. I don't know. That was a bad one.
That's a bad one. That's the last line of the movie. That's where you put the money.
The last line of the movie is like, and that's our story.
Okay, I have one. Okay, first line. Okay, it's like an invention story, like the Facebook movie or like
social network.
Yeah. So it's like you're an inventor kind of thing.
Oh, is this for me to do?
Yeah, first line.
Well, I guess my life's over. I mean, I didn't even get into college.
Great first line. We love that. Okay, last line.
I guess that's that, Harvard.
Why? I love how you're down the barrel the whole movie. And
all my movies are Ferris Bueller's.
Wait, I also love this movie goes, it says, I didn't get into college. And then the last line is you graduating from Harvard. In no way do we know this is a tech movie in any capacity.
Well, here's the thing. One did not graduate. He actually went back and threw up his invention into the air on the halls of Harvard's front door.
Well, that was like, your invention.
It's supposed to look like a hat, like I'm graduating. But also, like, doesn't it leave a lot of mystery? Don't you want to know what happened in between those two lines?
No. I'm breaking up with someone after I watch that movie. Instantly. I'm instantly breaking up with someone after watching that movie.
Imagine that being like, going through your life being like, that movie was fucking awesome. And then you sit down, you watch it years later and be like, I guess it was just the date I was on. I really like the person.
Oh my God, that happened to me a million times. I'm like, this movie's so sick. And then you watch it and you're like, what the fuck? You're like, oh my God, who the hell was I to even enjoy this? When you like realize you loved something. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyways, friends, we've done it. This is our Friday. Jameson has walked into the ocean. He'll never return. But we have each other, and that's what's really important. Stinking gave us 12% Rotten Tomatoes, and that is, if you can believe it, one of the best reviews we've ever gotten for anything we've ever done. We will be back on Monday. You still have time to participate in the model off. So you can tag us on Instagram at the Regulars Podcast with your photos. We'll share them on our stories. And
are we doing one more this weekend? Are we doing what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, let's toss a few. Like I'm down to.
I'll do one more. I'll try this fashion forward. One photo, fashion forward, something from
Would you like to give me a category?
Tickle trunk.
Tickle trunk. Like
tickle trunk, bitch.
Tickle, bitch. Yeah, I'll do a tickle, bitch. No problem. Also, if you would like to learn about blogging, I have a video out right now. So you can go check that out. The link is below. I'll do a little self-promotion. And what else? We'll be back on Monday. Tell your friends. Subscribe, like if you had a good time today. And thank you for listening.
And Laura, thanks for coming first time. Oh, how was our first date? Are we just Laura, did you like it? Or I mean, it was good.
Because I thought it was a good time, but I don't want to put pressure on you.
Remember we talked about, we talked about shirts at Jack Astor's, the man legend.
Yeah. Or maybe we could do like a day 2 with masks.
Oh, wait, she's not coming back? She's never listening again?
Yeah, Laura's gone. Her and Jameson both getting haircuts for the rest of their life. She said it was so cool to be in the reel. That's so lovely. Emma, we're sending you all the love again. Wishing you all the best. And we will see you all on Monday. So be safe, wash your hands, have some fun, take a model photo, tag us, and we will see you all on Monday. Bye.
Bye.